Hi and welcome back. In this session, we are going to see how you can install the Hyper-V virtualization software. And after this, we'll see how you can configure a virtual machines inside them. So for that, I'm using this particular machine. I will name this machine. Uh, so I will name it as, and we can rename it Windows Client and Hyper-V. Or let's do one thing. Let's create a new virtual machine for Hyper-V. So I'm going to install the operating system later. So I'll use Windows 2019 and I'm going to store in this location, but let's change it a different location. The virtual machine files I would like to keep in C drive. I have created one folder with the name, yeah, so workstation VMs, and I'll create a new folder, and then Windows 2019 and Hyper-V. So let's keep the virtual machine files in this location. Okay, click on next. Select the firmware BIOS, and because it's an, I'm going to use it as an Hyper-V, let's give the processor 4 and memory something bigger like around let's say around like you can give 12 GB, and use a bridge networking. So this IO controller should be fine, and SATA next. And so I'm going to create a new virtual disk and store it as a single file. Click on next, finish. So now we have this 2019. Let's rename this machine as Hyper-V. Okay. Then let's uh, right click on that, go to the setting, and there is something called CD DVD. Select the IS image, browse the location of 2019. So it's on the desktop. So Windows 20 Server 2019. Click open, say OK, and power on the virtual machine so that it will boot with the ISO image. So it is getting started. Okay, let me pause the video for some time so that you know we can reduce the recording length. Okay, so it's asking for language. So let's go with the default. Install now. Okay, so here it is at the Windows 2019 standard or data center, but it should be desktop experience for GUI. If you select the first one, it will be core, but we don't want core, we want GUI. Click on next. So accept the license. Click on next. And here we are installing the so the first one is the upgrade, the second one is the one that I want. Okay, 60 GB drive, fully format, yes, next. So I want to use this 60 GB drive for installation. So if you want, we can add the additional drive later. So let me pass and then come back. Okay, so the installation completed. So it's asking for setting the administrator password. Okay, so click on finish. Yeah, so you see that. So the installation is completed. So here there is one pop-up window. I say that I finish installation. So click on again VM, send control alt delete. So for setting up the Commvault environment, as I mentioned, like there are two prerequisites. One is you have to disable the firewall, right? And other one is you have to configure the static IP. So this is only for the lab environment. So don't assume that this is needed for production. It's only for the lab environment. Okay, for lab environment, to keep everything simple in ideal conditions, we are disabling the firewall. So let's go to the search and Windows firewall. So you can see that firewall is on, so I will make it off. So all the firewalls, I will make it off. So now you can see all the firewalls. Okay, there is one more private network. So everything is off. And another setting, we have to configure a static IP. Let's see what is the current IP assigned here. So on the CMD, so here search for IP config. So this is dynamically assigned, but I don't want the dynamic assignment. I want to configure a static IP. For that, go to the start. So there should be something called the network connection. So if you don't find it, do one thing, try to search in the network connection. Okay, the other option you can do here, go to the internet and network settings, and over here you'll find something called network and sharing. This way you have to, because it is 2019, so you have to navigate from here, right? If you right click, open network and internet settings, then this window will open. From here, if you scroll down, you'll see network and sharing center. And here you have an Ethernet, click on that, it has 0, and see the details first. So this is the DHCP server IP and DNS same IP, and IPv4 address is this one. So I want to configure a static IP. So I would like to use something called 220 for this one. So let's see first if that is in use. Okay, since not in use, I can use that. So these are the other machines that I have configured. So if they are, and ensure that the other machines are running. If they are running, then you can try to ping and see that if any other machines have got that IP. If that is not the case, then you can use this for IP for static, IP for for configuration for this machine IP configuration. So yeah, let's go back again. Can close this and go to the property section. Select the IPv4 Internet Protocol version 4, and so click on the properties. So here we find IP address automatically, but I don't want that. I want to assign it, you know, static IP. Okay, so it got selected automatically. So the gateway and the DNS is same. So what you can do is that if you have any doubt, you can see the currently configured gateway here. Yeah, you can see here the default gateway. So we need to use the same default gateway, but we are changing only the IP. So because I want to use a fancy IP, so which I can remember easily. So that's the reason why. Otherwise, I can use the same IP as the static. So it should not be a concern. But I'm just looking for some fancy IP to be configured here. So let's go back again, minimize this, and open that. Let me close this. Too many windows creating some confusion. Okay. So alternate DNS, we can ignore this. So because we already given one preferred DNS, say okay and close. And can if you want to see the details, yeah, now this IP is assigned. What you have to do, you have to just you can just to see that if the same IP is assigned or not. You can reboot it, or the other option you can try is you can go back again to the network and internet settings, and over here you have an network and sharing center. Click on yeah, click on this device. So you can just go to the left hand side. There is a change adapter settings. So here you find the Ethernet TIC card name. So right click, just disable and enable it again. This is how you restart the network services on this particular Windows machine. So now verify the IP again. Go to that command prompt, easy way, IP config. Yeah, that's the same. And you can also, if you want, you can to verify that if this IP is persistent or not, we can take a reboot also. So for now, I'm not going for reboot. I will just do one thing. I will open the server manager. Yeah, the server manager is there. And so here you have to look for manage, add roles and features. So I'm going to install the Hyper-V, or I'm going to install Hyper-V or configure an Hyper-V role for this machine. Okay. So add roles and features, click on next and go with default next. Okay. So and see that. So it's saying that select a server. So it has picked this one. Might be we can do one thing. We can go for reboot and then come back and see if that IP selects correctly. So let's take a reboot. So by the time it comes back, let me pause and resume. Okay, so now the server is up. So go to the virtual machines and Control Alt Delete. So, so the server manager is automatically starting. If you want to verify the IP, just do one thing. In the command prompt, type IP config, hit enter. Yep, it got the 220 IP address here, which we assigned as a static here. So again, go to the manage, add roles and features. So now click on next. Yeah, role based installation. Now you can see that it has picked the correct IP. So click on next and select the Hyper-V here. So now it shows all the features that are required for Hyper-V. So add features. Okay, so if you see this error, so what we have to do, so I'll show you the solution. So click on OK and just close everything and shut down your operating system. Just shut down. Okay, not restarting, shut down. Okay, so your operating system went down. Click on Edit Virtual Machine Setting and go to this processor and select this option, Virtualize Intel VT. Okay, this option you have to select. Okay, and then power on the virtual machine. So this should resolve that error. Let's see. Okay, came up. Control or delete. Okay, so let's start that again. Okay, we have to start the preset, manage, add roles and features. Okay, wait for some time. Let's try again. Yeah, click on next. Okay, select the Hyper-V, add features. Okay, now you can see it's working now. Okay, click on next, next. So here virtual machine required features. Yeah, you can select that one. Click on next. And remaining options, let's go with the default. So it's going to place the virtual machine files here, hard disk files here. So what we can do, we can customize it. Let's customize that. Let's place everything in the C drive. So the first one is location for virtual machine hard disk. So C, let's go to the C drive. So in the C drive, let's create one folder. So VM HD, so VM hard disk file. Click on OK. So for config files, so you can again in the C drive. So VM CF. I mean, you can give any name. It's not necessary give the same name here, but I'm trying to separate these locations for better understanding. You restart the destination server automatically if required. Okay, I'm okay with that. Click on install. So let me pass and then come back. Okay, so the server went down. It's rebooting automatically because I have selected that option. So to automatically reboot if required. Okay, so the server is back. Okay, so let's see if the Hyper-V is installed or not. Okay, still it's in progress, I think. Let's wait for some time. Okay, so now you can see the installation succeeded message. Click on close, and it's giving some message like Windows Admin Center brings together new and familiar features. So, okay, it's asking if you want to install WAC also. So that's fine. I will go for close and search for the Hyper-V Manager. Yep. can see that hyperv manager application, which means that the installation is completed successfully.